y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode we will be discussing Saints and Sinners season 6 episode 2, The Truth Won't Set You Free. Now, as I said in my first video, I want y'all to actually watch the episode first and then come to my video and let's chat about it in the comment section. And you know, Saints and Sinners airs on Bounce TV on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. and then again at 9. That's when I catch it. I catch it when it airs again at 9. And it's also on the Brown Sugar app. If you don't have Bounce TV, check it out on the Brown Sugar app. I think I saw where they have a code where you can try out the Brown Sugar app for 30 days free. If so, I'm gonna put that here on the screen for you guys. But yeah, I will not be including like clips of the show. Every now and then I'll insert GIFs that I may find, you know, to make it a little bit more entertaining, and like some photos and stuff like that, but I'm not going to include clips of the show. And also, I don't think I mentioned, but y'all can check out my reviews slash recaps on like every Tuesday, sometimes Wednesdays, because you know I might get a little backed up with my editing. That way that will also give people a chance to watch it if they weren't able to watch the episode once it originally aired, because I think when it airs on the Brown Sugar apps, the episodes come on Mondays. Alright, so this episode left off where the last one did pretty much. We see Kendrick up in the booty bar and he looking up on stage and he's like, Stacia, and I'm looking at him like, boy, that's not Stacia. So he runs up there, he's trying to like put his freaking coat on the girl while she dancing, like, no, what are you doing, get down from there. And nobody, and she's looking like, who is this? And so she gets security to toss him on out. And I am like, what in the world? He shows up to this girl's house and he banging on the door like he 5'0", and she's peeking through the peephole like, who the heck are you? What you doing showing up at my place? Like, how you know where I live at? And you know, he's calling her Stacia and stuff, and he's like, you know, I know you're not Stacia, I've done my investigation. And she like, hold up, investigate? You been investigating me? So she about to freaking close the door on him. And I'm looking at Kendrick like, why are you even going to this lady's house talking about investigating? Like, clearly she's an exotic dancer, so you talking about investigating, she probably think that you the feds, you trying to come him up, you know what I'm saying? So why you think she gonna talk to you? And you talking about something, I know you're not Stacia. Why the hell you gonna call her Stacia then? Duh. So he's like, you know, you're Anna, and you're my fiance Stacia's long lost twin or whatever. And so she starts talking, and yeah, she looks just like Stacia, but if y'all notice, her accent is like a little different, because I know previously some people had questioned like, do y'all think that this is really Stacia, and that, you know, she went through a situation where, you know, she had a concussion or something, she don't remember who she was, she has amnesia, and now she's working as a stripper in Athens. Like, no, this is a whole different character. This is Anna, because you could tell that her voice is different, and that she doesn't say, she kind of used a little bit of ebonics in a way, you know what I'm saying? She's a little bit more streeter. Her voice is a little bit deeper to me than Stacia. So, you know, she lets Kendrick in, and you know, he's explaining to her about who Stacia is, and that Stacia was separated from birth, and he done took this girl to him and Stacia's house, and he's showing her, you know, the little folder that he done got together, and explaining to her that, you know, basically it was like, y'all heard the stories before where like twins are separated at birth, and one goes to like the rich family and then the other one goes to like the poor family. So like, that's what happened to Anna, I'm assuming. Maybe she was in foster care or something, but we know that she was leading a life that was a lot rougher than Stacia. So all of this is like a lot to Anna, you know, learning that you got a long lost twin out there. She like, hold up, I gotta process, you know, this whole situation and stuff. So Kendrick's like, yeah, he understands and stuff like that. So he, you know, giving her space, and then he had the nerve to say, are you happy? Like, you know, you don't have to be living like this, you know. He trying to save her, but she don't want to be saved.
Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Don't save her. She don't want. I'm like, Kendrick, how dare you? That is offensive. But I know he wasn't trying to offend her, but he was just like, you know, you working at this booty bar, like, I can help you out, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this, you don't have to sell your body to the man, you know what I'm saying? She like, I know you did, I know you lied. So she's like, you know, don't be trying to change me. I'm not Stacia. Da, 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 da. This is how I live. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you tell him. You know what I'm saying? She's an independent woman. So he offends her, and she's just like, you know, I'm leaving. But in the meantime, Ella Mai, she is still, you know, trying to figure out what's going on with this organ ring. She's trying to prosecute somebody and stuff. So they like the next person that they got now that Officer Richards is dead, and you know, they're like, oh, he had a beef with his cellmate, and his cellmate just ends up, you know, killing him. Like, that didn't even make sense or whatever. So Ella's not buying it. The only other person that they can try to bring to trial is Dr. Ross. Ella knows that in order to, you know, try to convict Dr. Ross, you're going to have to need witnesses, and one of those witnesses is going to be her daughter Christy, and she didn't want to bring Christy in for questioning because she didn't want to put Christy's life in danger. But her partner is like, you know, we're going to protect her, we're going to make sure that she's okay and all, but we're going to definitely have to speak to her. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to like get her testimony. So Christy comes in and she's giving this compelling, and she look good too. I ain't gonna lie, I love Christy's whole wig and stuff. She looking real fly this season. But anyway, she's giving like this compelling account of her working under Dr. Ross, and how she first got the inclination that something wasn't right, and you know, she was trying to save the girls. Then they started asking her about that nurse practitioner that was working with Dr. Ross, and you see she tried to flip the script, and she started talking about she ran into one of the victims' mothers, and she was trying to tell her what happened to her daughter, and she didn't even know, and she just, you know, gets emotional and stuff. I was like, look at Christy up in here acting and stuff. She doing a good job, because she's like, look, I don't want them asking me a whole bunch of questions. I'm gonna just, you know, keep it simple and stuff. So Ella, she cuts the interview short. So Christy, she's like, you know, I'm gonna do whatever y'all need me to do. Y'all need me to testify against him, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Perfect witness. Whereas Paige, on the other side, on the other hand, she's been giving a lot of pushback. She ain't trying to, you know, come in, give her testimony and stuff. But Ella's like, you know, don't worry about Paige, leave her to me. She gonna come in, she gonna give her statement or whatever. So Paige and Jabari, they back at the house, and you know, they beefing and stuff because Jabari is convinced that Paige had Angela killed. He's like, you killed Angela, you know, she was pregnant with my kid. And then Paige is just like, I mean, he's like, do you think she was lying about the pregnancy? And Paige is like, it could have been true, she could have been pregnant, but it was just collateral damage. Like, what you tripping for? So Jabari is just so like distraught and stuff, because he's like, it could have been my kid, but it could have been anybody's kid for real, because we all know how Angela was getting down. You know what I'm saying? Anything that happened to her, she brought it on herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that she done did to all them folks, like, she had it coming. But in a way, I do see where Jabari is coming from, because just looking back on his life, like, yeah, Jabari, he a street dude, you know, he ran the streets, he done did his dirt and stuff like that, but he's like a family man. He got his wife, and then he has his daughter and all of that, and then, you know, his childhood wasn't the greatest. His father was murdered when he was a teenager, and then his mother, you know, he thought his mother walked out on him, and then he finally found her and learned that she had been tucked away at this facility for all these years, and he was starting to build a bond with her, and then he accidentally killed his mama. And then he had a whole long lost brother that he never knew he had, and then once they were actually starting to get to know each other and build a bond and actually build a business with each other, his brother was tragically murdered. So like, family is very important to him, so he doesn't really care who it was that was pregnant. That's how I feel, you know. It's just the fact that he could have had another child, and that's something that was very important to him. So it's having an effect on him. And while they're getting into it and everything, who comes up to the door, barges their way into the house, but Ray Ray. So Ray Ray barges in and stuff, and you know, that's another thing. Jabari is upset with Paige because she reached out to Ray Ray, and he was like, you said you would never reach out to him, because come to find out, Paige and Ray Ray go way back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had on the host role, he probably did, but anyway, you know, Ray Ray was her first. And I'm like, and I was listening to it and everything, and I was thinking to myself, okay, previous season she was calling him Uncle Ray Ray, like, but you was bumping uglies with your uncle? That don't, like, you bumping uglies with your uncle? And I ain't gonna lie, is it just me, or was I kind of underwhelmed when we finally saw Ray Ray? Because I mean, like, we have been building up to this, who is this Ray Ray mysterious character? Like, we've been hearing so much about him and stuff. So I was expecting for him to be an older gentleman. I was not expecting him to look like a young Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though his size is very intimidating and everything, you know, but I was thinking about somebody being like, you know, I know him and Rex are definitely going head to head, but I was thinking about somebody's Rex's age, like a legend, an OG in the game. But you know, he a young blood that's, you know, really, you know, holding his own out here. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so he barges in the house and everything, and Jabari's like, what you doing up in here? You know, and Jabari ain't no punk. He like, what you think you doing? So it was funny how Raven came up in there. He acting like he they Lord and Savior and stuff, you know. Did you hear the good news? Like he a Jehovah's Witness. I said, oh my goodness. But yeah, he up in there like, that's how you gonna treat me? Like, you know, you gonna give me a shot or something? I thought I helped you out of prison. Next thing you know, there's another knock at the door. Paige go answer the door, and she has like a summons, I guess that's what you call it, where she has to go and testify about what Dr. Ross has told to her. So, you know, she goes reluctantly to testify, you know, or give her account to Ella and stuff. And you know, she's sitting there, she basically pleading the fifth the whole time, like, I don't recall, cause you know what she look like snitching, you know what I'm saying? Like, she finna snitch, and this Ella's like, you gonna tell what happened, you gonna tell the truth? And she looking at Ella like, are you gonna tell the truth? Because we all know that Ella dirty. Ella got some skeletons in her closet too, and Paige know it all too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Ella, she touched the nerve, you know, after she was like, you know, you're not gonna help these other women and all the stuff that he put you through. And you know, Ella's acting like she been affected, you know, too. And Paige is like, hold up, I'm the one that he was performing experiments on, and you know, he done took my eggs from me, he done violated me and all sort of stuff. And it was just eye-opening, because I'm like, gosh, this Dr. Kevorkian, he really was up in there experimenting on this poor lady. Like, gosh, and now she's concerned that she can't have kids. So Paige ends up reaching out to Christy. She's like, Christy, can you please like do some tests on me to like see if I can still have kids? Because I'm pretty sure he, you know, took my eggs away. Because, you know, by this time, Jabari done left Paige, because he's just like, you know, I need some space, you know, with everything that's going on and stuff. And obviously, I think a new baby with Paige would probably turn this all around, you know, for Jabari. But unfortunately, when Christy runs the test, Paige cannot have any kids, and she is just distraught. And you know, in the middle of her on the phone getting this information from Christy, who comes back through the door this time but Ray Ray. And so she's just crying, and he's like, you know, what's going on and stuff like that, you know, prying. And then she finally tells him like, this man done did all this mess to my body. And you know, Ray Ray, he's like playing to her heartstrings, and he's like, why you think I came back? You know, I still love you, boo, do. And then they all up on each other. I'm like, Paige, now come on now, Jabari ain't even been gone that long. You all hugging up on him and stuff. So yeah, Jabari, he done went to Rex's place. I think that's where he was at, to, you know, try to get away from everything. And he's searching through boxes trying to get information on his pops. And Rex is like, what you doing? Like, what's going on here? And he's like, you know, I met OG when I was in prison, and he was talking about my pops, and he said my pops died like a punk. Like, you know anything about that? And he tells Rex the guy's name, and so Rex like, nah, that don't ring a bell, which we all know Rex be lying, so of course he do know. And so he's trying to like let Jabari know, like, man, you don't need to be worried about that. That's in the past. You need to be focusing on Paige and your family and stuff. Like, let that go. Trying to like tell him that, you know, to let it go. But I knew in the back of my mind, like, oh, Rex about to get old man. Like, the old guy should have never mentioned Rex at all. So Rex, he goes and he visits the old guy, because of course he know who the hell Jabari was talking about. So in the conversation that he was having with the old man, to me it sounded like the old man was kind of like a fixer, or like the fall guy, to where like maybe different crimes and stuff happened and somebody had to take the fall, so they set the old man up to take the fall, and that was like his role and like the crew and stuff like that. So Rex was basically like, why are you talking to Jabari? And so the old guy tells him that Ray Ray is the one that put him up to it and told him that he will take care of him, you know, even after he was dead, take care of his family and all that other stuff. And Rex like, oh, okay, no, don't worry about it, I'll take care of your people, so whatever after you go. So old man got this look on his face. I'm like, dude, you was a dead man walking. Like, why'd you think you could just be rolling up, you know, throwing Rex's name out and nothing was gonna happen? Like, Rex gonna always get his lick back. And sure enough, the old guy ends up being found in his cell hanging. But we all know he didn't take his life, somebody did it. But yeah, in the meantime, Ray Ray is just being a busybody up in Cypress. He done went to Josie's club and he's sitting up there and he talking to her and stuff like that, because apparently he done heard it through the grapevine that Josie is looking to sell her club because she's trying to get enough money to pay for Miles's medical expenses, because she doesn't want Tamara to be able to move him to Florida, because Tamara has a plan to move Upsurge and Miles to Florida because she thinks she can take care of him better and stuff. And you know, Josie is going to try to file an injunction, and in the meantime she has to try to get up money to pay for his medical expenses. So Josie is thinking what she's hearing from about Ray Ray, you know, from Ray Ray and stuff, and especially when he's flashing cash, you know what I'm saying? So she like, Ray Ray over here buttering Josie up and everything. Then he ends up pulling up on Rex at Rex's little pool spot with his little crew and everything, and he basically let Rex know like, hey, I know you done popped one of my homies, and so since I see how you moving, don't be surprised when I get your back, you know what I'm saying? So they going tit for tat right now. It's war up in there. He letting Rex know like, I ain't afraid of you, like I already done conquered Athens, Cyprus is next on the list, old man. Rex just like, oh yeah, we at war. So then he goes to Josie and he's like, you know, and he's telling Josie about who Ray Ray is, because Josie ain't had no idea who Ray Ray was at first. So then she gets a bug in her ear from Rex, so she's like, oh, I don't want to deal with nobody like that. And he's like, well, you know, you gonna be like my call girl and stuff. She's like, what that mean? You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, when I call you come, you know, I got the money for you, we gonna be working together and stuff. So they clinking glasses, and they also gonna be trying to take Tamara down, because you know, Tamara got Rex fired from Upsurge, so there's gonna be consequences for that. And then, you know, she trying to move Miles. So now Josie and Rex gonna be definitely in cahoots working together to try to get her taken care of. Ella finally gets a chance to question Dr. Ross. So they got him in the room, and you know, at first he ain't speaking and stuff, so she's like, let me talk to him by myself or whatever. I get some names out of him, because Ella, she been feeling herself. She been feeling herself these two episodes and stuff, and it's just like, ma'am, who do you think that you are and stuff? Like, she just this a super cop that she just thinks she gonna solve the crime. But anyway, she talking to him, she like, you know, give me a name. She pulls a needle out of her purse, and he's like, what's that for? And so she's explaining to him that, you know, in the state of Georgia, she can recommend that he get chemically castrated, you know, because of the type of charges that they're bringing against him. She can recommend that he be castrated. He's like, and now I'm looking like, at everything you done did to these women, now you afraid that you're gonna get chemically castrated? You dirty dog. But anyway, so he gets a little frustrated, you know, he gets a little spooked. So she's like, you know, give me a name. He's like, better yet, I can give you 3. So she's like, okay, we'll start talking. So he gives her Ray Ray's name. Now, up until now, I don't know if it's just me, but I had no idea that Ray Ray was involved in this whole human trafficking thing. But it makes sense because, I mean, Athens is experiencing the same thing. But yeah, number one name that he gave was Ray Ray. Then he gave her the name of Leona. So she's like, Leona, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? And then he say Christy, and she's like, oh my god, her daughter. So now she finally know. And I thought it was gonna take, you know, more episodes for her to finally realize that, you know, Leona and Christy was involved. But no, episode 2, he already done spilled the beans. I ain't take much for him, you know. Once he saw the needle, he done told her. So she like, oh man. So, you know, the others come in and they're like, you know, so did he give you some names? And she's like, nah, because I already knew she not gonna give up her family, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she didn't give up the names, but she did confront Leona. She's like, Leona, how could could you? You know, you're trafficking these young women and you're stealing these organs from them, and you know, you got Christy working for you and stuff. And Leona was like, yeah, we were in charge of it, but we not no more, which I'm pretty sure her and Christy still are, you know, doing it. But anyway, she's like, how could you? And then Leona tells her, you know, it's because I'm dying. And Ella looked at her just how I looked at the screen, like, yeah, right. This old bat, she will say anything. Old evil bat. You know what I'm saying? We would all be so lucky if she was really dying. But no, it just, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. How about y'all? But yeah, that was just funny. Oh, and I almost forgot how Kendrick, he did end up going back to the club and apologizing and trying to save Anna from the bouncer who was trying to take her tips and stuff like that. But she did mention, you know, while she was, you know, trying to get the bouncer to leave her alone, you know, that Ray Ray pays you or whatever. I don't need to give you extra tip money. Ray Ray pays you. So Ray Ray is like the owner of this strip club, or maybe he even knows Anna personally. But yeah, Anna ends up going back to Kendrick's house, and you know, she done packed the bag and stuff, and she's like, yeah, I guess I do want to take you up on your offer. And I think that Ray Ray probably sent her over to Kendrick's house like, hey, we could try to play this, you know what I'm saying? Because it looks to me like Ray Ray is trying to hit Rex and Cypress at all sides, you know what I'm saying? He coming for everybody. He coming for Jabari, he coming for Rex, he's trying to put his stamp on Cypress. He's trying to be the underground king of Cypress. Which, yes, you guys, this episode was another one that did not disappoint, and I am ready for the next one. Drop down in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts on this latest episode was. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's free. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I make an upload. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.